I bet $5,000 on black, sat at the table, and it hit. So,
Yo!
When I set my mind to something, there's no I'm a different type of animal. Different type of animal.
What's going on, family? David Shands. I want to give you a special invitation to the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. It is the only organization that gathers every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we help you learn entrepreneurship, grow as an entrepreneur, become an entrepreneur, or you just get to be in an environment, a network of all entrepreneurs. Literally hundreds of entrepreneurs gather on a Zoom call every single morning, Monday through Friday, okay? So I want to give you a special invitation to help grow your business and your brand all this year, okay? Every single day. You eat every day for your health. You brush your teeth every day for your hygiene. I need you to learn and grow every single day for your mindset, okay? So make sure you go to themorningmeetup.com. It is only $1 trial. You don't need a promo code. Just go $1, themorningmeetup.com. Check it out. If you like us, stay. If not, after that, it's $79 a month. But I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy yourself, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com. I love y'all. See you in the morning.
The Social Proof Podcast. Streaming now on all platforms.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast, man, where we find cool people who do cool things, that build businesses and can teach you how they've done it. Are you going to teach today?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, because not everybody that's a good cook can teach how to cook. They just do what they do.
100%.
So, yeah, man, we're going to add some value today, man. So, if you will, man, we have one of the top real estate agents. Is it real estate agent or realtor?
It's pretty much the same thing.
Is it? I thought a realtor, not every agent is a realtor. Like, not every agent can use the word realtor.
Yeah, to be a realtor, you got to be like a member of like a certain association, just extra paperwork, but same job.
I wish I use it interchangeably. Like, everybody, like, you don't correct them like, hold on, I'm not a realtor. I'm a real estate agent. You don't do that. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so go ahead, introduce yourself, man, and let's jump into it.
So my name is Naeem Boucher. Born and raised in Patterson, New Jersey. And, the story's kind of crazy, man. There's a lot. Like, I'm just thinking about it. Pretty much, grew up single mom. She was raising 5 kids. And I just remember, adversity. I remember moments where, we struggled. And through that, I just always wanted more. I always wanted more. And Patterson's like a tough environment. Right,
yeah,
it's a tough environment. And she wanted to keep me off the streets because she didn't want me to get caught into the wrong crowd. So then that's how I got into soccer. So soccer, I was on like a local travel team, and then we were very good.
Hold on, Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
No basketball courts, like no football. Where you get? Listen, because I'm from Jersey. I'm from Willowboro, South Jersey, and I mean, soccer wasn't the first thing you think of, especially Patterson, New Jersey. How you get into that?
I used to get make fun of, actually. Like, my friend would say, "Nah, you're black and you play soccer." Because I had a stepdad and he was Jamaican, so that's kind of like how I kind of like got into it, I guess.
Yeah.
But we actually went to like church one day. I was like running, and then a guy said, "Hey, he's fast. Like, come have him join the soccer team." And I went. I didn't even want to go, and I just stuck with it. And then I ended up going to high school for soccer, which was one of like the top high schools in the country. Then I went to college for soccer, and like it's just crazy, And then I got my full-time job as a soccer coach. So soccer really like put me on the right path to having a chance, like just give me an opportunity for more.
Yeah. How old are you now?
Now 29.
29 years old. So how old were you when you started playing soccer?
I had to have been maybe 7 years old. 7? Yeah, it's like 7, 8 years old, around that.
And so from 7, 8 years old all the way up to how old when you become a soccer coach?
I started coaching soccer when I was like 22. Yeah, because I graduated college, then got like a job coaching soccer.
Was that your dream, to be a soccer player or a soccer coach?
The dream was to be a soccer player. like a pro soccer player. You know, like I remember my mom used to go to church and, you know, she would like hype me up to everyone, and like it was to the point like she had like people praying over my feet. It was kind of uncomfortable. But you know, like I always wanted to be a soccer.
Shouts out to the Baptist church. Had to be Baptist church. Those are the ones that
it was a little bit much. You know?
Praying over your feet. All right, so that was your dream. Who was you looking up to?
Like Cristiano Ronaldo. That was like one of my favorite players. But like, I knew I wanted to be a pro soccer player. I was good, but I knew I wasn't like maybe that good to go pro. Because like, I went to the best high school in Newark. I mean, New Jersey, and like I didn't make varsity until like I was a senior, and I played one game. Right, so and me knowing that.
Hold on. So you're playing soccer from 7, 8. This is your goal, your dream.
Yeah.
Then you become a varsity soccer player. You play one game.
I only played one game my senior year, and I scored a goal because like St. Benedict's Prep, that's the school I went to. Our freshman team, like we'll beat some varsity teams. Like that's how good the school is. Like our JV team will beat varsity teams. Like it's just like a powerhouse school, so it was always competitive, right? And like so, freshman year I was on freshman. JV year, and then junior year I thought I had a chance. I got cut, and then senior year I went to preseason, and then they cut me. I went to my dorm room, started crying. I almost quit, and I was like, man, forget this.
A dorm room in high school?
Yeah, we had dorms. We had dorms.
You lived there?
I lived there for 4 years there too.
Where was your parents?
Patterson. I would go home on the weekends.
In high school?
Yeah, high school, yeah. Yeah, so in my school had like a lot to do with like everything else. It's a great school.
Hold on. So you don't go home during the week? You stay at the school like you're in college?
Yeah.
What kind of school is this?
It's a prep school, St. Benedict's Prep, but it's like optional. Like some kids can go home, but for me, like they had me stay because the headmaster, I personally, cause I was like a troubled kid. I was like I was getting in trouble in school. I wasn't really taking school serious, and I only went to play soccer. And so like they had me on something called developer. Like so, I had to stay there. I had to stay at school. Like,
dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's my first time of hearing about that. Unless you're like Job Corps, but even that's after like high school. But I never even heard of that.
Yeah. Definitely check it out. What's
the strategy behind the school doing that?
So the strategy is like to keep kids like me at the time off the street.
So it was like a punishment school, kind of.
Not even a punishment. It's like a school where that's run by the kids, but there's also headmasters, there's monks, and then like we have like
there's monks.
There's monks there.
It's like a Catholic school or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the alumni.
So the Catholics are playing over your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was just a Baptist thing. Okay. All right, cool. Oh, I got you. So it was okay. And your parents decided to put you in that because you were troubled.
No, it's not even because I was troubled. My mom, when we went to like the school, she saw everything about it and what they did. Like the school, like in the inner city of Newark, and like they were successful. It was a very well diverse school, but successful like black men growing up in school. So she knew more than I knew at the time. I just wanted to play soccer.
Right.
And she said, "Nah, this school you're going to." I didn't want to go. It was all boys school, and but a couple of my other travel teammates, they were supposed to go to the school. Well, I was like, all right, fine, we're all going together. And then I showed up. Only one person was there. I'm like, so yeah, I just stuck with it.
Wow. Were you good?
Like as a player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many games did you play your senior year?
Senior year, I only played.
No, I mean, how many games did y'all as a team play?
Probably like 20.
Dang,
they cut me. They cut me senior year, so I was going to leave. So I decided just to stay and play JV, and then I turned up. I probably scored like at least 20 goals, and then like I think someone probably got hurt. Then they finally called me up, and then I got my chance. I scored. Like not everyone can say that they played for that school and got in and scored a goal. So it doesn't seem like much to someone else, but for me, like that was a major goal. That's what I want to do. I set that goal. Like I envisioned one day playing for the varsity, just walking out with them and chanting the chant with them. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And I envisioned, I got the opportunity.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So you're playing soccer this whole time. This dream does not work out the way you thought it was going to work out. And what made you take the soccer job? Was it like just the next natural thing?
So I was before the soccer job, I was like aware, and then I started working at the bank, and I was working from like morning to night.
You're a waiter, server.
Yeah, I was a server.
What year was this? I mean, how old were you?
I was in college.
I
was in college, so I was like, just doing it in college.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the lady fired me for no reason, and then I got a job working 9 to 5 at the bank, And then I stumbled onto this opportunity to coach. And then I saw like they were paying like, decent money. I think it was like $25 an hour. And I was making like what, $11 at the bank. So it was a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm out of there.
So I kept the bank thing, but I was just doing that in the afternoons.
Gotcha.
So then and it was awesome, It wasn't really a job, I was doing what I loved and coaching kids. So I thought that was awesome.
Absolutely. And so how did we transition into this $20 million worth of real estate that we sell it as a realtor?
So what ended up happening, like once I started making like, decent money, I probably was making like 30 grand a year or something like that with the bank, and then like an extra whatever with the bank and the soccer, right? Like I was averaging like around 30,000.
Hold on, bro. I'm trying to like lay the foundation. But your bank and your soccer job together, 30,000.
Yeah, because I was doing the bank, I think like part time. I was full time, then I like reduced my hours. Then soccer, I had like limited hours. I was like part time. I was like making the transition.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, I still got my W-2s. I'm going to double check the numbers. I remember it was like $700 every 2 weeks from the bank.
All right.
I still got the pay stub, but I was making money, and I was living after college. I went to go live back with my mom. So I wasn't really like paying that much rent. I was like helping her out, but I started wasting my money on like nonsense, like Jordans and Gucci belts, like with the little money I was making, right? I'm just wasting money, like just spending it, and I'm like, I'm about to get a BMW. I thought I was doing something, right? It was my first time like making decent money because I never had, I just always wanted to be able to afford stuff, so I just started wasting my money. And then something happened. My mom, she ended up losing her like job or something in New York, and then she had to like downsize. And it was me and like my siblings, so she ended up getting another apartment. So I went to the apartment, and then my sister came back and was like, "Yo, like we moved. Like you gotta like figure out what you're doing." And I'm like, "Oh damn, all right, well." I went and got an apartment for like $700 a month. I had like a big flat screen TV in my name, and then the light bill was also in my name that like accumulates. And then I had other debt. So now I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and so now I'm just like. What the hell? Like I was stressed, and this was like around the time I was like graduating college, right? So I was upset. I was even upset at my mom at the point. I was just upset, and I found myself in a hole. And then I was like listening to some podcasts. All right, so that's why I have like a lot of respect for podcasts and what you do, because podcasts really like changes people's lives. I was listening to this podcast, and then Jim Rohn.
That's my guy.
Jim Rohn. He goes. You want to change your life and do this and that, but you don't even pick up a book and read. Like the world's best kept secrets are in books. You never read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon.
The best kept secrets, they're in the book.
They're in the books. So I heard that, picked up that, and then I said, you know what? I'm at my bottom. Let me order this book, and I hated reading. So then I bought Richest Man in Babylon and Rich Dad Poor Dad.
George Clayson. Make sure if y'all ain't read Richest Man in Babylon, golly, it's a classic.
Man. I read that, and then I learned the difference between the asset and the liability. Yeah. That's when it changed. Like when people get paid, they waste their money, like they spend it. I wasn't paying myself first. So in Richard Man in Babylon, one of the biggest gems he said was, you got to pay yourself at least 10%. Yeah. At least, but before you pay Uncle Sam, whoever, pay yourself at least 10%.
Maybe I'm doing some things backwards too, because I read the books, but like, so for one of my businesses, all of the money just goes into the business. I don't take anything from it, because I have a salary from my I guess it's under my consulting brand. So my company, I'll pay myself out of that. But I have like some other businesses where I just roll it straight into. I keep it there. Yeah. Think I'm doing something backwards?
No, I think you're doing it right. That's how I got my kind of like set up. Like all my money goes into the business account, and then I still take like 10% and put it into like a TD Ameritrade account, like just trying to diversify. Like that's like a savings, right? And then the rest is like for operating expenses, salaries, and something like that.
Yeah, and I think maybe to pay yourself first. I don't know if there's a high level strategy or maybe it's like kind of like some blanket information for the average person. Yeah. Because every business that I have, so for this one, like even my podcast, the money that we bring in from the podcast, it just goes into the podcast. I get more lights. I'm getting another camera, like mics, all that kind of. I got 2 new computers. It all just goes straight. I haven't paid myself. I do pay my tithe. I give my tithe. Okay. But I don't pay myself. You think that's backwards though? Like, is there a reason? Because I'm not the wealthiest person in the world, but
I think, well, for you should like look to profit first, right? To make sure like you even if it's 5%, you know, just
it's all profit though. It's all profit. Like when I do this episode, where I don't put my business, I don't care. So we'll do at this time between $8,000 and $10,000 a month on the podcast. But when the money, I'm so into the experience of the podcast, like I'm going to take all of the money, right? And I'm either going to buy some equipment or I'm going to hire somebody to find even more, maybe higher level. You're amazing. Like names, celebrities. Hire somebody to do like the relationship building and finding celebrities to come on a podcast, things of that nature. But I roll it all straight back into the business.
You reinvest it back into your business.
Yes.
You're all in. Nothing like that.
But should I pay myself first?
No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Because I do the same thing. Like I go broke reinvesting back into like my business. Like I'll go broke because I know that it's going to come back. Yeah. Right. So it's like I'm like I just got to the point where I'm like, you know, let me just take 5%, just put it away, you know, just to say I'm doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but I'm still, I go all in. You got to go all in.
Okay, all right, I didn't want to be alone. Because when you said pay yourself first, it reminded me, yes, the book did say that. But I'm not doing that.
No, because you're a business owner, right? So it's a different stage. But for like someone who is working at wherever they're working, like the bank, coaching soccer or teaching or like living paycheck to paycheck, I think they have to be, before they pay their bills, before they do whatever, 10%, probably and then figure out how to live on the 90. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And that's what I did. I think so it's different, right? Yeah. So now, let's say if you get paid $1,000, right? So that's $100 you're putting away. All right. And let's say that's 2 times a month, so that's $200. Right. So at the end of the year, you're gonna have what, $2,400 in the savings account. Yeah. Right. And it's like you just gotta get used to living like that in 2 years. Right. Now that's $4,800. Yeah. Right. And so you get where I'm going with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then it starts to build up and then what you do with that 10%, you invest it.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what really changed my life? So Jim Rohn, he did, and I don't, if you're an average fan like me, like I've seen everything Jim Rohn had on the internet. So he gave this teaching on 10, 10, 10, 70. He said, never spend more than 70% of your income. He said 10, give it away, 10, you pay yourself, or 10, you save, or whatever.
Yeah.
But he said, even if your numbers aren't 10, 10, 10, and 70, you need to have a plan. So he said you might be in such a poor financial situation where you have to pay yourself 1%, give away 1%, do something else 1%, because you're in such big debt and you built this big lifestyle where you're spending 97%, but don't spend 100%, right? And I think he said something. This is the point. He changed my life. He said I probably don't spend more than like 3% of my income. So he said, you can imagine what these other numbers are for me. You know, my giving number. I was like, yo.
That's
can you imagine living off 3%?
That's crazy.
Of your income? God, what does your income have to be? Okay, so yeah, we're pivoting. Okay, so you started like personal development, reading.
Personal development.
And what was one of the biggest gems? Because I know you said you learned what an asset liability was. Give me the gem that had the most impact.
The most impact, the light bulb went off was when I learned that wealthy people buy assets like real estate and poor people, they buy liabilities. All right. And then I said, all right, well, what kind of asset? Like, what are they talking about? So I learned that you can buy a house. Let's say you buy a house for $200,000 and then it could be it's a multifamily house and your gross rents, let's say if your gross rents are $3,000, right? That's like not taking out any expenses. So $3,000
gross rent.
Gross rent. So one unit is getting $1,500. The other unit is getting $1,500. Now you bought it for, let's say, $200,000, and then with taxes, principal, insurance, everything, your mortgage payment is going to be, let's say, $2,000. So then $3,000 minus $2,000, that's $1,000. So the house makes $1,000 a month. I was like, wait, what? And then at the same time, it's also paying itself off. So you're gaining equity. And then at the same time, 10 years from now, that house you bought for $200,000 could be worth $300,000. It appreciates in value, as opposed to the Jordans that I was buying for, let's say, $500 that wore to the ground. And when I sold it, when I hit rock bottom, they only sold for $100. So I'm like, wait, like this is ridiculous. If I can get a house that can make me $1,000 a month, and if I do that 10 times, that's $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 for the year. That is wealthy. That is wealth. And if let's say my bills, right, car and whatever is $5,000 a month, and I'm making $10,000 a month, I am wealthy. I don't have to work another day in my life because all my bills are paid. And then at that point, the light bulb went off, and I said, real estate. I gotta get into real estate. And that was at 23, and I bought my first house at 25. And then it's I was like, I went to go live in an attic. I got rid of everything. I sold everything. I wasn't paying myself 10%. I was paying myself maybe 50% because I just wanted to save up enough money just to buy my first house. I saved up $6,000. Like once my savings started going from 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000, I'm like, I'm doing something right. Cause I never had that much money in my savings.
Bro, that first $1,000 in your savings,
I remember it.
What? I remember, yo, me too. That was the most significant number, that 1,000. And I said, I saved $1,000. Mm-hmm. So were you still working your job at this point?
I was at the bank. And I was at the bank. Yeah, I was at the bank, and I was still like slowly starting to get into the soccer. I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story. 'Cause I remember it. Like I got up to like 9,000. Right, I got up to 9,000. I don't want to pivot too much, but I got to 9,000.
30,000 a year.
Yeah. And then I said to myself, I just want to see 10. Right, because like I was working so hard. I was working from morning to night. And like I got up to $9,000. I'm like, I just want to get to 10. So I took a ride to AC with $1,000. I put
Atlantic City for those that ain't.
I don't recommend gambling to anyone. I do not recommend it.
Whoa. Okay. So go ahead. Okay.
It's about to get crazy.
So you said you were at 9,000.
Yes, I was at 9,000.
And your goal was to get to 10,000.
Yeah, I just wanted to see 10. All right. I was working at the bank, and then I left the bank. I was also substitute teaching as well. I was making $100 a day. All right. So I was kind of like I was doing a lot. And I just wanted to get to the 10. I went to AC. I put $1,000 on black. It hit. I won. All my friends are going crazy. And then we're celebrating. And then I go back, all right, and gamble with the money that I just won. I lost it. So now I'm back. I'm at zero. All right. I lost the money that I won. I lost the money I came there with. So now I got $9,000. So I asked.
Hold on. Did you take 1,000 from the 9,000?
Yes.
To where you were at 8,000?
Yes. So I'm at 8. So I'm at 8. So I lost all of it. All right. So then I said I looked at my boy.
Hold on, bro. I'm so sorry. I hate interrupting you, bro.
It's a funny story.
You take $1,000 and you bet on black.
Yep. I just said, look, if I lose it, whatever. If I win it, I made my goal. Yep. Bet it on black. So
I'm not that bold.
So it gets crazy. I looked to my friend, right, because he literally was with me when I lost it all. I said, look, let me borrow $20. I know I got $8,000 a bit. I'm gonna give you. Let me just get $20. I went back. I turned that $20 to $16,000. $16,000.
What?
I kid you not. I still got the videos and everything on my phone. It's $16,000. I'm like, wait, oh my God. It's crazy, man. I don't know how it happened. I was just playing with blackjack and I was roulette. Like it was ridiculous. $16,000. So then I go back home, right? Because now I got the 16 and money, like, let's go. I'm ready to get this house. So I go to my mortgage guy, and then the mortgage guy goes, all right, with the money that you just put in your bank account, you got to let it season. So now I couldn't get a house. So I'm like, man.
You said you got to let it season.
They have to season because you can't just put money into your bank account and then go ahead and try and buy a house. Like the money has to be sourced. Like where did this money come from? I put it in cash. I went to AC.
So you can't just stack cash.
Nope. Like the $9,000 came from my job, right? So I can source that, the pay stub. The $16,000 cash that I went and deposited in the bank, I had to like season for like 3 months.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, so if you're in the process of buying a house, I can't just give my brother $10,000 and he put it in his account and like, yeah, we good.
You can't do a cash, but what you can do is you can give him a cashier's check and call it a gift. So it's the difference between actual cash and like an actual cashier's check, because they can source the cashier's check knowing that it came from you, a family member, same name, whatever.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so you're here with, did you take the whole $16,000? You gave your friend this $20 back, though.
Oh, I did. Okay, I gave him a little bit more than that, actually.
Right. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you give him?
I probably broke everyone for like $200 or something like that.
Oh, so you show love?
Yeah, I show love to all my friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right, so you get back home.
Yep. Couldn't buy a house.
Couldn't buy a house.
So what I do was I went to go move like with 2 roommates in like some nice area in Jersey City, downtown, waiting like 3 months to buy a house. And then what I did was I said, you know what? I got like $25,000 in the bank. All right, let me go back to AC. Do not gamble. Do not gamble. Right? I'm telling you, do not gamble.
What's going on?
It's a powerful story with this one. So I go back to AC now with $5,000. $5,000 because my goal now was to make $10,000 in a span of 10 seconds. So I go to AC. I didn't even like take anything out of my bag. I bet $5,000 on black. Sat at the table and it hit.
Yo,
when I set my mind to something, there's no like I'm a different type of animal. Different type of animal. I went there, $5,000 on black. It hit. I didn't even flinch. My one friend is like in the back, like jumping out of the seat and everything. It hit, and then I put the $5,000 that I won right back on black. Because remember, my goal was $10,000 in the span of 10 seconds.
I can't do this. Bro. I'm getting anxiety. I wasn't even there. This was like years ago.
So then I lost it, right? So I have my original $5,000. I should have got up and left. What I did was I bet my $5,000 that I came there with, lost it. Now I went to the ATM, took out another $5,000, lost it. Then I went back again, lost it. And I probably gave AC back. I gave him back some money. Like I blew it. I blew it. So then I went back home, and I moved back to the attic. Right in Patterson, I moved back, and then I'm beating myself. Like I'm so damn stupid. Like I'm so like I worked so hard. Right, I was substitute teaching from morning to night, and working on weekends to just blow my money like that. So I said, I got to be smarter. All right, and then there's this other book called Cash Flow Quadrant.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki, the amazing book. I went back to substitute teaching that next day. I sat in the chair. And when I used to start, I used to read the books, and I said, I can't do this. I cannot sit in a chair and make $100 a day to try and get back to where I was. What can I do? And in the book, there's 4 ways that wealthy people gets paid. It's different between rich and wealth. The first is E, right? When you clock in, then you get paid. All right. So when I clock in, I get paid. You're an employee. But then the next is S, sales. All right, so you learn a trade, you learn something, you learn a skill that you can sell, whether it's cars, whether it's courses, whether it's real estate. And for me, I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to buy my first house. So I left that same day from substitute teaching, and then I registered to go get my real estate license. And for 2 weeks, no one could hear from me. I studied. When I would drive, normally I listened to music. I was listening to the audio cassettes, and then I passed the class. I passed the what is it? The state exam, and I got my real estate license. And when I used to coach soccer, there was this office in Hoboken that was beautiful, white office. And I said, one day I'm good. And I went straight there, so I passed my real estate license. Can I join you guys? And I did that. I got my real estate license. And then the first ever deal that I sold, which made me $6,000, was the house that I bought for myself. I represented myself. That's how I learned how to work with buyers. I had a coach, but the coach really wasn't helpful. I felt like I was bothering him. So then the first house that I sold was the house that I bought for myself. And that's how I learned the home buying process. And the first house that I bought, it did what I wanted to do. It meant the goal. I put down 3.5% down on a $170,000 house. $170,000 house.
Okay.
I did a seller concession, which is the seller paid for my closing costs. All I had was $6,000. The $6,000 that I had in my bank account, I emptied it into buying a home. I got paid afterwards, of course, but I went broke. All my $6,000 out onto the house, and then
so you went up to $24,000 in that savings account.
Lost it, gambling
and then you went back down to $6,000 or all of it.
I lost all of it pretty much, all of it. Yeah. I lost a lot.
Talk about bet on black. Golly.
Yeah. But that was one of the pivotal, one of the best moments of my life. Because if I wouldn't have done that, I would have probably still been coached. I would still been substitute teaching. I wouldn't have got my real estate license. Right? I wouldn't have, I had to pass that exam. I didn't sub. I had to. I gave myself no, and I did that. And now I just this year I probably helped 50 people. We're probably gonna sell 50 homes this year. Right, about $20 million with the real estate, and the majority of the business is buyers. But that first home makes $1,000 a month.
The first home.
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. So we are, you lose all your money, and then a low-key depression ensues, right? And then, you start reading this book and you say, okay, I'm gonna go get my real estate license.
Mm-hmm.
And then you buy your first house.
Mm-hmm.
And now what do you do? Like your first, you bought your house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that when you lock in on being a realtor, like, you are just an animal with it. I can imagine, like, you are a dog with it. Like, yo, I'm going straight in.
Mm-hmm. So I got the first house at 25, and then I was still in the attic. I was like, the money that because I was living at the house, but I had roommates. But the money that it was making, I was just saving it. And then I didn't get a new car. I was still working. And then the house went up in value, refinance, paid the house off. Then I got the next house.
What's your house worth now? The 170. Oh.
That one's worth about $300,000 now.
Dang.
Yeah. And then I got the next house. That one, I bought that one for like $200. That one's worth maybe like $350 now, and that one's cash.
Hold on, did you live in the second house?
Oh yes, I did.
So you bought the first house. You're living in it. Mm-hmm. It's a single family.
Yep. No, multi.
It's a multi-family.
Yep.
2 units. Two units. So you live on one side, rent out the other side.
Correct.
And then you say, I'm going to buy another house.
Correct. And then I moved into that one.
Yo, just like the book.
Yeah.
You really followed the whole book. Yeah.
Yeah, step by step. And then what started to happen, I was still making like $30K with the other job, but now I had
the extra income. You were still working at the bank.
Yeah.
Get the heck out of here.
I had to qualify for the income.
Right.
Yeah. Right. But then at that time I was full time with soccer. So I actually When did I leave the bank?
You left the bank, then you went full time soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Soccer coaching. Okay.
And then I was just trying to be a realtor on the side, but I wasn't really doing much business because I was like doing the soccer. Majority of working class people work from 9 to 5. Then they want to go see houses on the weekends, but I'm coaching soccer and I'm doing games, so I couldn't really go all in with it. But that income was helping me qualify to buy the homes, which was what I really wanted to do. I wanted to own homes.
Got you. So soccer coach, you have a multi-unit, mm-hmm. and then you use that same job to qualify for the second home for $200,000.
Yes.
And you were living in that one.
Correct.
And what was this time frame?
Of getting the next house?
Yeah.
Like literally the next year. So I got the first one when I was 25, then the other one I got when I was 26.
And are you living in the second home now?
No.
Okay. Tell me about the third property.
So then the third property, right? Because I'm trying to strategize with my lender, saying, "How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this?" He goes, "Naeem, you don't make that much money, right?" But to me, I was all right. I was comfortable. I had the soccer, and then I had the extra. Like, if I wanted to be like just content, I could have been content, right? And I could have been all right.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I always wanted more. Always wanted more for myself. So then he goes, "Naeem, this is when like this blew my mind. All right, this gonna hit different." Because I was focused on making $1,000 a month. He goes, "What if you try and make $50,000 a month?" He goes, "Naeem, you're so worried about now." I call it offense and defense, right? I had great defense.
Right.
Like I would live in the attic. I would not spend no money. I would save my pennies to great defense. I delay gratification. I have amazing defense, but now there's offense. Right, he goes, "Naeem, just learn how to make more money. You're a realtor. Right? You're a realtor. There's realtors in this business that are killing it." And I'm like, he kept telling me, "Naeem, quit the soccer. This is how I was getting qualified for, my homes." So then one day I just said, you know what? All right. Cause I think I got fed up at something and just working for someone else. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So then I quit the soccer after 5 years being there. And then I had that fear. Right? Fear is a powerful thing. Before I was fearful because I didn't know if I would succeed as a realtor. But then once I quit my full-time job, I put the fear behind me and now I had to succeed. Yeah. I had to succeed. And then that year, I sold $10 million worth of real estate. $10 million worth of real estate.
Yeah, I made a post today. And I think I'm gonna make a follow-up post behind it, but I made a post that said, "I hope you get fired from your job today, and it forces you to build your business."
I hope you get fired today, right? Because obviously, God's timing is perfect, right? But if you'd had the conversation a year earlier and your mentor's like, quit, and you have this epiphany and you quit earlier, you probably get $50 million.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So I think life has a way of forcing us out, and you put yourself in a position to say, okay, I need to have my back against the wall a little bit. So you quit your job. At this point, you have 2 properties.
Correct.
When you quit your job.
Correct. So I had the cash flow coming in.
Yeah. Oh, so you got full cash flow coming in from the first property, both sides.
Yeah.
And then you're living in the second one.
Correct.
So walk me through getting your third.
So then the third, after some time, I actually moved out of the second one. I went to go like rent in Montclair. Then I rented out where I was living, and then the third,
you rented out the place that you're living.
Yeah.
To rent somewhere else.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Grant Cardone, he says own what you rent and rent where you live. Right. So for
own
what you rent and rent where you live.
What do you rent and rent
where you live?
Where you live.
Yeah.
Okay, break it down.
So for me, I was living in the studio apartment of one of my properties, and that property was probably cash flowing $750, and then I could rent that studio out, and it was in the basement, the studio. I can rent that studio out for $750. Now that property is going to make $1,500, and then I can go rent, like, let's say in Montclair, which is a great area, for like $700 a month. So it was kind of like a wash. So I was living in like a better area, and I was just renting that out. So for me, it's like the flexibility. Like I can go and live and move wherever I want. So all the money that I made after selling $10 million worth of real estate, and I couldn't use like my income yet because I got to file it for 2 years. So I did like a no doc loan. So they're charging me like 7% on the rate, but I put down like 15%. On my third property, like 15-20% on my third property. All the money I made, I emptied it. Even the money that I owed Uncle Sam. Yeah, so now I had to work even harder to make the money to pay for Uncle Sam the next year. And I'm never doing that again. You always got to put away like 30% for Uncle Sam. So that made me work even harder to get out of that hole. But that's how much I believe in real estate. I would go broke. And I got my third property.
Yeah.
I got my third property.
So you got your third property to live. Okay, so you leave your second property and you start renting another place. And in the process of renting, while you're renting that place, you buy another property.
Correct.
Did you move into the third property?
No, the third property was strictly investment.
How much you pay for that?
That one I bought for $210,000.
How many properties do you have?
Right now I have 3 properties, total 7 units.
3 properties, 7 units. So the third property was a quad or?
That one's a 2-family.
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 So 2-family for the first one.
The third is the second to third.
Huh?
So the first home is a 2-family. The second home is a 3-family.
Gotcha.
And then the third one is a 2-family.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, awesome. And you acquired all of this in the last 2 years or so?
Yeah, so I got a house a year. So I got a house when I was 25, then I got the second one at 26, then I got the other one at 27.
Gotcha. You're 29 now.
Now I'm 29.
Why'd you slow down on the process?
So I slowed down because I started investing in my business. All right, so even now I beat myself. I was actually under contract on a home, trying to close it out for this year, just to say I got one every year.
Right.
But I learned the business, right, and I'm growing, and the majority of the money that I've making, I've just been investing back into my business, because I know it's going to be able to produce more for me to go even bigger and get more. So like next year, my goal is to get 2 properties to make up for it.
To make up for it. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah.
So walk me through being this all-star realtor. Okay, so you leave your job, coaching soccer.
Yes.
And you go in on this whole real estate agent thing. Where do you start?
So I started by just getting the information, right? Getting more information. Because before what I was doing it as a job. I joined some guy's team. I didn't even want to really join his team, but my mortgage guy, he recommended I join the guy's team to learn it's an actual business. I saw that the guy had assistants, all right? The guy, he had systems, Right? He had structure. Me, I was just working off my phone. Right? Like just very unorganized, figuring out, all right, who's next, right? Just a lot of little different things. I got the hustle, I got the drive. I just didn't have the information of knowing how to run it as a business. And then once I understood that, and like, I didn't really need to be on this team anymore, right? Because I knew that I could generate leads, right? I knew I just had to figure out the system, and then I figured out the system. So for me, what it was, I got to meet at least 10 new people a day, right? Everyone has to know me, right? Everyone has to know me, and then like I know how to help buyers, right? Because the first house that I did was my own. Yeah. So now I just started on Instagram giving information, saying, hey guys, like, I'm living in Montclair, like pretty much rent free, because like one of my properties is paying for me to live here, right? Like,
right.
And
you still rent right now?
I do.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I actually just moved to like some like a nice like luxury kind of place, but but people was seeing what real estate was doing for my life, and then I was just giving information like, hey, I can help you, right? I can like literally help you guys do the same. So for me, it came down to me helping people also do the same, and at the same time, my business grew from that. And then like I just had systems in place, like a CRM. I wasn't working on my phone.
CRM?
Yeah, like a CRM.
What does that stand for?
Customer
Relationship Manager.
Yeah.
I was trying to help my audience.
Yeah. So now I got all my database there. So I'm adding to the database. People are getting emails. Like this is very organized. I got assistant. Then I hired my first assistant. Even hiring my first assistant was great. I'm like, well, I'm about to hire my first assistant. So I hired my first assistant. I hired a second assistant, right? Her job was to manage the leads, and then the other assistant was to manage the paperwork. So now what that does for me, that gives me more time to go out and get more business.
Reach your people, yeah.
Go ahead and get more business. So it's a simple system. Once you figure out the system, so for me, it was a matter, all right, I told my assistant, when I was like, I'm all in real estate, pack my schedule. I don't care. Just pack my schedule. If I got to be in Florida at 1 o'clock tomorrow to show house, I'm going to be doing that. So literally, she would just pack my schedule, contact my lead, say, hey, what home do you want to see? And she would just schedule it, and I would just go close the deal, lock it up.
Hold on. Are you selling properties in different states?
No, only New Jersey. I was just being like sarcastic.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, okay, I got you. I was about to say, brother, we about to get into this.
Not yet.
Right. Okay.
So then I would go on the showings. I would, create the relationship, right? Because there's also a relationship business. Create the relationship, and I would just lock the deal up, get it under contract, and then find the next buyer. Boom. And then I just started filling the pipeline. I call it loading the clip. And then I went from having no deals under contract to 5 deals pending to 10 deals pending to 15 deals, and it just grew, right? And then once you build the pipeline, then your business is going to do well, right? Because that's how you're going to have a closer next month. Because you got nothing in the pipeline, then you're not going to do any business. So it's a system.
Yeah.
New people, all right? What do they want? Set them up on the criteria, CRM, go on the shows, get them on the contract, and then close. And it's just a system. I figured out the system.
Wow, that's awesome. Is it a big shock from a soccer coach to
Absolutely.
one of the top realtors in Jersey?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like for me, it's like whiplash. Like it's like whiplash. Cause I remember I used to drive a hoopty. I used to live like in an attic, and now I'm living in Montclair, and now I'm living in like North Bergen with a view of the city, and I got my dream car as well, BMW i8, and it's life is different, man. Life is different. Like, I'm so confident. And once I sold the 10 million, I knew that it was only the beginning, right? Because when 2020 was coming, and then I went out to New Year's Eve party with one of my friends. Everyone is like enjoying life and like enjoying the party. Me, I'm in the corner with my hoodie on, just thinking about the next decade, right? Because I remember when it was 2009, right? I was graduating high school, and I was thinking about college, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but I found myself in that moment. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to buy more. I'm going to take over. Like I have control, right? Before I felt like I was blaming my mom and this and that, right, because of my situation. But no, I realized that no, I have control. I got to get the information. I have control over my future. And then two months later, February, I got my dream car. All right, and that kind of like I use that kind of like for marketing as well, kind of, right? And it paid for itself already at this point.
Right.
But then in March, the world shuts down. Global pandemic. Global pandemic, right? So now what happens? Fear comes back. All right, fear comes back for a little bit. I'm like, damn, I just got my dream car. What if my tenants don't pay the rent?
Right.
So then at that moment, I could start blaming the pandemic. I could start blaming this person, that, right? I still got a text message right now, and I'll show you, of me talking to my mortgage guy, and he's out at the grocery store at 8 p.m. going to go buy, and there's no shot to him at all, but everyone was like panicking, right? Buying toilet paper and loading up on food.
Right.
And I'm home like trying to lock up a deal, right? I sent them a client, like pre-approved this client. And then I'm gonna show you the message. You can see like this isn't. Yeah. And then you can I show you right now?
Yeah,
so,
please.
So you can see like the passion in this text.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
Absolutely. Yo, that's because I want to hear his disposition on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Check it out. 1 second.
That's funny.
Check this out.
You know, so awesome that I mean, it was not awesome. But I guess some entrepreneurs were really going to also says, you know what, I'll turn around. You got it. Bro, go get food. Why the F food shops at 8 p.m.? I'm trying to lock. He said, who the F food shops at 8 p.m.? I'm trying to lock up 425,000 deals. You worrying about toilet paper. Everyone is panicking, effing up the economy. I'm working through this S. You are tight right now. Oh, someone will get poorer after this, after all this done, and some will get richer. I know what side I'm on. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down effing swinging. Why everyone is home afraid, not working? And then the guy says, no, you're working dumb. And you say, I'm doing my job.
And guess what happened next month?
What happened?
I had my best month ever. My next, that in January, February, March, April, I had my best month ever in real estate. And then that momentum just continued on. Fear, man, is a powerful thing.
Wow.
The next, like,
and that's your mortgage lawyer, the one who has to approve the loan. And you're like, yo, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah, like that's the energy that I have, you know, like, and it was uncertainty, but at that moment, right, I chose, like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to rely on the stimulus check. I'm not going to rely on the government. I'm not going to rely on anyone to benefit. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to work through it. And I did that, you know, like, even during the midst of a global pandemic, everyone from New York now want to start coming to what do you call it, New Jersey, to race a low. You know, I found the opportunity to figure it out, and I'm going to keep it going, right? And now it's got to be smart with the money, and because the money that you make, you got to make sure you're investing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's why I mentioned I'm putting away like 5-10% because I want to make sure I'm still investing in my business, but also I'm parking, you know, some of this money back into real estate.
Gotcha. I got two, like, kind of the questions kind of split. Because one, I want to talk about the relationship with that mortgage lender, right? Because what was so crazy is he admittedly said, yo, I'm scared, bro. He said, yo, you're dumb. He said, you're working dumb.
Yeah, that's what he said. I work. That's the next thing. Like, you just gotta outwork people.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'll work people. Like the guy who I joined this. I joined
said,
this
who
team.
the F food shops at 8 p.m. I'm trying to close with $425,000. Who the F food shops? All right. I'm sorry. Please.
No, it's like that's the next one. I work someone. Right. Like, I would work on weekends. I got a picture when I'm in like Miami with my friends, and I'm on my laptop sending out offers. Like I will always work. That's just got to work from morning till night. I will work, and then eventually you figure out a way to start leveraging and whatever. But I'm all about, like, you just got to work.
Yeah. All right. So, how's the relationship with that lender? Is he?
Oh, we still do business till this day.
Good.
And now I'm his top realtor. He goes. I give him 100% credit, you know, because he helped me start thinking about the offense. I tell him, I text him randomly, I say thank you, you know, and because of that, and because, like, when I was just a soccer guy making, not that much money, he saw something in me. He believed in me.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, we do a lot of business together. We co-market, they also like a great bank. So we do a lot of business. But now on my DMs, I'm getting a lot of messages from other lenders who want to do business with me and stuff like that. But I have a sense of loyalty, to someone who believed in me when I was doing nothing. So that's why the first referral, I'm sending it to him, And if for some odd reason he drops the ball, then I'll text him, hey man, like you sleeping,
Right.
like you about to lose this client, like so we kind of hold each other accountable.
Amazing. Okay, so you kind of alluded to some things that you was like, yo, I have to make sure I'm investing back in my business. Did you go too crazy with the money?
What do you mean?
Were you irresponsible with the money as it starts to come in? Because with real estate, right, you get a $400,000 deal. You get, let's just say 3%. 3% of that is $12,000.
Yeah.
Were you irresponsible with the money?
I would say I can be smart with my money. I would say, right?
Can't we all?
Because what started to happen is like I'm just so confident in my ability to make money, right? Like I would instead of saying I can't afford something, I'm gonna say how can I, right? So if I have that mentality, it's like I feel as though I don't care what anything costs. I don't. Like today when I stay, I'm only here for what, a day. I'm in like some penthouse Airbnb. Right, like when I went on vacation one time, like I rented my dream car, and but again, you have to be, you have to get to a certain point where yourself, your business, like your tolerance, and then you just got to just start to
but a lot of people have that mentality, athletes, or even a lot of people in 2008 when the crash came, like the money was flowing from what I'm told, right? Yeah. And they're like, yo, I'm gonna get to the bag, right? Yeah. So after that situation, when that stream of income slowed down, they got caught with their pants down.
100%.
Do you ever feel nervous about that happening to you?
I think about it, but no, because of like my
you used to be such a defensive player. Now you're straight offense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's a confidence, right? Like, because no one could take away what I know.
Yeah,
like I know how to run a business. I know how to go from nothing to something. So I can lose it all right now, and then I'll get it back. Whether it doesn't have to be selling real estate. It could be something else. And I'm actually working on a couple of other things because it's all about having multi streams of income.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on developing like an online course kind of thing, trying to like scale that.
What are you gonna be teaching?
I'm gonna be teaching like financial literacy, like more like in details about like real estate, and not even real estate, like just like opening up a business and like changing your life, right? Because like I feel like I invested so much into myself, my brain. I have so much knowledge and I give this on Instagram. I give a majority of this. I rented out what is it? Like a space at the college for $3,000. I bought like 500 seats. I went around, started hitting the college dorms, and like, hey, I got this flyer. You got to come check out my event. I'm going to be speaking along with I had like other people. PTG 365, Brandon Mefford. He went. My house Graham, Leonard Pearson, and another friend of mine, Mauricio, like business owners. I said, come to this event. It's for free for college students because I just want you to get some information that can help you that I didn't have. Right, that's why I did that. And then for other people, I was charging like $20. I had like 100 people. 100 people came, right, and it was free. And at that moment, I realized that like you can give the information, and some people won't even do anything with it. Like when I was living in the attic driving hoop, and I was telling my other friend, like, I'm going to buy a house. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm telling them how.
Right.
And so that's why I wanted to build some kind of course where people are going to be willing to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
And then, because when you invest in yourself, then it's a little bit more personal, right? It's just like you put your dollar, you want to get your worth out of it.
For sure.
So I'm going to try and give value that's going to create impact and help literally change people's lives. Like literally change people's lives.
You should do it again and book me to speak in Jersey. I'd love to come back there.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
That would be awesome. I think that would be great. I like your mentality, man. I really, really do. Is it mentality or mentality? Mentality, right? Yeah. I love your mentality. Just it's it's a calculated confidence. Yes. I still think you probably should. I mean, especially. Well, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me, right? Because I was in the market of getting a Rolex, and I didn't get it because I realized that I wanted it, but it was like I kind of wanted it, but then I realized I wanted it because a lot of my friends have it.
Yeah.
And I said that would be financially irresponsible. But on the offensive side, I say, y'all make more than enough money to go get a watch. I can go get. It was $13,250. The taxes were $1,100, so it was about $14,50, around $14,400 or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I can go get it, but I can't get out of my head that this $14,000 can go into a property. I can buy a whole house.
Very true.
For $15,000, or I can buy a 90, the 80%. I can buy a $90,000. So that's the thing that plays in my head. But sometimes I need to adopt that. Yeah, I'll go make some more money. Just make myself happy.
I think you got to have the balance.
Yeah,
like you got to have the
balance.
What
you got? I just got to see.
Movado.
Yeah, mine doesn't work though. The battery's dead. Yo, my mentor is like, and I was telling him about the Rolex thing, and he said. I said, would you get it? He said, no. I said, why not? He said, when people ask me for the time, even if I have a $60,000 watch, I'm still gonna look at my phone for the time. It's just for a piece. So yeah, it doesn't work. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's about the balance. It's about the balance. You I had the defense. Like I know the defense, but now I have the offense, and like for me, I'm kind of like addicted to like pushing myself. So like yeah, I have my dream car now, which I'm paying for. Then I also just move to like a place like that rents like $3,000, like $3,500. It's ridiculous, right? I didn't even really want to do it, but then I did it. Dang. But it pushes me, right? Because now I'm like, I'm not gonna be content, right? Because I could be content. I can literally like,
for sure, I
don't got to sell another house, and all my bills will be paid. Right, but for me, it's bigger than me because I want to impact my family, impact others, and it's like, how can I do that? Right, like how can I do it? So I got to be better. I got to be bigger. I got to grow. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to continue to make myself uncomfortable because I'm addicted to the growth. Because I know I'm gonna figure it out and take myself to another level. Yeah. So that I'm able to have it all figured out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you teach lazy people to get them out of that?
I mean, to be honest, man, I think that with lazy people, they have to realize that if they want change, it has to start within them, right? Something has to happen for them to say, enough is enough. If that doesn't happen, it's very hard. Yeah, it's very hard, right? So something has to happen, for them. For me, I try to get people's attention, all right? And hopefully that can trigger something, right, within them. But it happens. Everyone has their own pace. Everyone has their own race, and it takes time. It takes time. It's a great question.
Yeah, because it seems like there's somebody that's watching this and they know they're lazy. Yeah, and they're like, dang, I wish I had that drive. That
make yourself uncomfortable. You got to figure out. You got to figure out how to make yourself uncomfortable, and they got to want to change. It's real simple.
Yeah, but some people that when they get uncomfortable, their whole goal is to seek how to be comfortable again. And some people it doesn't push them, right? So it's like I heard this guy say, his name is Darnell Self. He said, if a baby is being abused and like the child protective services come to like take the baby from the abusive household, the baby will cry to go back to the same mom that abused it. Because it'd rather have a known abuse than the unknown.
It's deep.
So a child, like for instance, if, there are going to be some people who have a job and they're comfortable and they say, yo, I'm going to be this entrepreneur. The first sign of being uncomfortable, they're like, oh, I just got to go get another job. Yeah. You feel me? So I think for different people, being uncomfortable has different effects. But I think it's important for us to have this conversation because some people, even after I said it, are like, yo, that might be my pattern. You know anybody in your life that has that, like, no matter what you say or how uncomfortable they get, they're always going to be them.
Yep. I know people. I think we all know someone like that. Yeah. 100%. Like, I got people that are close to me. Yeah. Some people that are close to me that are like that.
That's the hardest person to reach, ain't it?
It's the hardest.
Especially because they remember you as a soccer coach. How have you had to like deal with, let me ask you this. Were you a different person as a soccer coach?
I definitely was. I would say I was, cause now I just feel like an animal. Cause I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get to where I gotta go. You know, over there it was like less. Like I was figuring it out. You know, I was coaching soccer. I had the income coming out. I'm thinking, you know, this is all right. You know, let's take my time and get the next house. I'm gonna figure it out, right? So, but now I'm definitely a different person because I have to become a different person to push myself to newer levels, right? Like to higher levels. But I always believed in myself, man. I always believed in myself. Like I always had something within me. It's like a little flame, you know, a little flame, and I just have to turn the flame up, right? Turn the flame up, and it's lit.
It's lit right now.
It's lit.
That was an entendre right there. It's lit. The flame is lit, but right now, it's lit.
Yeah.
Let me ask, are you dating?
I am. You know,
with the whole breath, like, yeah, got a little something going on.
Yeah, you know, seeing what happens with it, just figuring it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
so you're accepting DMs right now.
Nah, man.
Your DMs are open right now.
I'm focused right now. That's why I'm focused.
I dig it. So tell me about that area of your life while being so focused, because you're so driven, you're so laser focused, and you seem like you're not letting anybody take you off your path. How does that affect your relationships?
It's affects, man. It's affects a lot because I have trust issues. You know, like I have trust issues.
Sprouting from where?
Like college, I had a relationship that ended bad. Like literally, like maybe the next day I saw the girl holding hands with some dude down there, you know, man. And then like 3 years after that, 4 years after that, I was, you know, let me get in another relationship. And then that one ended bad. Literally the day we broke up, the next day, she was like leaving her ex's car. Like I seen it. Like
I've been there, brother. I've been there.
You know what I mean? So that's trust. So, you know, I got trust. And then, you know, something kind of happened last year also. Like I wasn't kind of recently as well, but that happened because I was so focused on my business and focused on the global the pandemic happening. I was focused on myself, focused on business, focused on what I got to do. And then I guess the person felt like they wasn't getting like enough attention or whatever. And then, you know, kind of like a situation happened kind of thing. And, you know, so for me, it's like I have trust issues.
Three cheaters.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, trust issues.
Yeah,
I
got trust issues, you know, and
that's fair. That's that, you know, like when you hear trust issues, you think in a negative light. Yeah. But given that situation, that's fair. That's fair.
You know, and like, and what I trust, what I have control over is my life. You know, I don't have any control over anyone else, but I know I have control over taking myself to the next levels, and that's why I'm so addicted to it. You know,
because that's the thing that business will be loyal to you.
Exactly.
Especially when you know you're working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I can go get a bag from somewhere, right? My entrepreneurial, I can come up with an idea and it's going to, like the relationship I have with entrepreneurship, man. Yeah. Like you in real estate, like, as long as I got this license, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. And I guess, you're the lady you were with, they're not getting attention, so they're going to go get some attention.
Exactly.
When do you put that down?
I'm still figuring that out. You got a book for me? Let me know. I'm looking for a book on that. I'm sure no one's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know why my wife married me.
That's awesome. You see,
I got lucky, brother. She's super patient with me, and she makes me want to just be home by 6. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think you'll find that one that. And what's so crazy is, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I wanted to make it a post. It seems like being single should be the cheat code to entrepreneurship, but it's not.
I agree, actually. I agree.
Because you have more time to focus. But for some reason, it's not, bro. Because what I started to do was, I would cut the fat. There are like some really important things that we need to do, right? And there's some systems that need to be set up. And the only reason I set those up is because I wanted to be home by 5 or 6 o'clock. And once I started to compress my activity, it exploded. And I don't do much after, I don't do a whole lot after 6 o'clock. And business started to grow.
No, that's definitely good. It's like kind of like having an anchor, right? So it's like you know you're gonna take off, but you also need like some kind of steadiness, you know. So I admire that, man.
You
That's
think
awesome.
you're ready? You think you're ready for that though? Because you got a lot of issues to deal with in terms of trust, right?
Yeah.
You break the trust, man. It's hard. I don't care how much motivational stuff you want. When you go through it a couple times, 'cause I've been there, man. It's like, it's hard breaking out of that, man.
Yeah.
But right now you focus on business anyway.
Yeah. So I got a lot of things to do, man. Got a lot of things to do, you know. It's only the beginning.
That's amazing. All right, so I wanted to touch on kind of like some nuts and bolts of success. If you had to kind of wrap in, you know, a few major keys that somebody can take and say, yo, this is what I need to do to be successful. What would be your best points?
The best points, like number one, you got to be willing to like invest in yourself, right? Educate yourself, get the information, like with whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is, like figure out what it is that you like love, what is like you're passionate for. Like I was passionate about real estate because it changed my life, right? Like once the light bulb went on. So you got to find out something you love, something you're passionate about, learn everything there is to know about it. So that's gonna take some time, right? That's gonna take some time. Like I have a library of books, you know. Like I went to seminars. I bought courses, you know, I listened to podcasts. I went through a lot of hours went into educating myself, right? A lot of hours. So it's that, and then you gotta, you know, set a goal, right? Like, what do you want? Some people, like, they don't even know what they want, right? Like what is that you want? Do you have it written down? Right? Are you passionate about it? Like, do you know your targets? Do you know your goals? I will wake up every morning and write down my goals. I got the book, like literally. Like I want to own X amount of property. I want a BMW i8, condo in Miami. I want to change my family's life, you know. And I'll wake up the next day and write it over. Number one realtor, you know, in New Jersey. I write the goals down. I'm passionate about it. Always reminding myself. So you got to be passionate and know what your targets are, know what your goals, envision it, have it drawn out. You got to be obsessed. You know, you got to be obsessed. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's the truth. It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Is there a way to develop obsession? Like the desire, that thirst, that hunger. Is there a way to develop that?
I think it will come once someone finds what they're passionate about, right? And then like I think it will come. Like once you know something that you love, and then you know just get us. I think it's possible. You know, I think it's possible. Like, what do you love? Like, everyone likes something.
Yeah.
You know, like there's people, like I make fun of people who play video games and like all the time, like you playing video games. You know, when we can be, you know, reading a book or doing this and that and that. And when there's people that make money off of you know, video games.
For sure.
Like millions.
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like this, whatever it is that you're doing, you're good at, just figure out a way to, you know, monopolize that. Like I was good at soccer. So I got the job coaching soccer, you know, and became a coach, and I educated myself, and I got a higher license as a coach. Like I could have, you know, make a good living as a coach and kept buying like, you know, one house a year and whatever. And, you know, so whatever it is that you're doing, like what did you want? Like you got to figure it out and just make it happen. You know, you just got to take the action.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you have to do to prepare to get a house? Like let's switch gears into realtor mode.
Yeah.
I want to buy a house. Like, that's all I want to do. I just need to buy a house.
Yeah.
What do I have to prepare myself? What do I have to prepare?
So first and foremost, you're going to need to prepare the financing. So you're going to have W-2s, right? So for the last 2 years, are you employed and are you on the books? Right. So making sure that you have a steady flow of income because the bank wants to see that. You need good credit. So you got.
Well, what if I'm an entrepreneur?
If you're an entrepreneur
and I make the money, but I can't get a house.
Do you pay taxes on the money that you're making?
I mean, not really.
So then you got to start trying to show some money. Not all of it if you don't want to, but you know, show some money on the W-2s or do a no doc stated loan and you know put down a larger down payment.
They still do no doc?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a part of the crash of 2018. All these no doc loans.
No, they got it. They still underwrite the file much better than when they were back in 2008. You know, they're going to make sure that the property cash flow will, the gross rent will pay the mortgage, and that there's more left over. Make sure that they're gonna make sure that you put down X amount of dollars, like 20%. They're gonna kill you on a rate like 7%. But like the third house I bought, that's the loan that I used.
Gotcha.
Because I quit the soccer, so I had to do that.
Right, but you know, like most entrepreneurs will make money, but at the end of the day, your tax guy was like, okay, how much does you want to write off? You're like, all of it, and you wound up making $58,000.
Yeah, so you got to show a little. Show a little.
Yeah.
Speak to a mortgage guy and strategize a plan of how much money should I show to qualify for X amount from the bank.
Yeah, got it. Okay, all right. So that's the showing of the income. How much? How long do I need?
Like how much money?
No, well, I guess give me both. Like how much money do I need to see? How long? How many W-2s do I need? How many years of?
Last 2 years.
Last 2 years.
Last 2 years. How much down?
I see people get a house with less than 2 years of W-2s though.
Well, were they employed with a different job?
Yeah.
So as long as there was no gap of employment.
Oh.
Yeah, so that works as well. There was no gap of employment.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So 2 years of steady. So I can literally work at McDonald's for 6 months, go to Wendy's for another 6 months, Target, then Walmart. Might be able to get a little house, but it's not going to be no big house. But as long as there's no gap in employment, they'll take all of that and be able to underwrite the loan.
Yep, you just got to have all the W-2s to show that you were employed.
Got it. Okay, credit-wise.
Yeah.
What else for credit?
Credit-wise, definitely you want to be 650 or better. There's some people that are buying homes with 580, between 580 and 650, between there, but they're going to kill you on the rate. But I mean, it's possible with an FHA loan. You can put down 3.5% down, but you definitely got to protect your credit. Got you. Okay. Anything else I need to prepare? That's really it with credit. That's really, you got to just make sure that,
But I'm talking about in the buying home process, period.
Yeah, so credit, you got to, show money so that way you can get the loan. Have a realtor. I recommend research the market that you want to buy in, right? Know the area, know what kind of house that you want to get. Is it a single family? Is it multifamily? Is it a condo? Is it a townhouse? So
why do I need a realtor though? And I was a real estate agent, but why do I need a realtor? Are they just the people who just prepare the paperwork? Because most people go to Zillow, they find their own home.
No, it's big. Because the realtor, they have the knowledge, right? They are the experts in the field. So the realtor knows the process from start to finish. The realtor has, the right people, the vendors, like the mortgage guy, the attorney, title. So they're going to make sure that the process is a very smooth process from start all the way to finish, right? Because it's buying a home. It's one of the largest assets you can buy, right? So you don't want to jump in doing it blindly and not know what you're doing, right? And then buy a house with no realtor, and maybe you overpaid, or maybe there's liens on the property. For sure. And it's a lot goes into buying a house. Yeah. And someone like myself, I've been in it for 5 years. I have an entire team. I got assistants. I got the attorneys, the best. I got the mortgage guy, the best. I got home inspectors, title company. So I have everything to make sure that if anyone's buying a house with me, it's just going to be done right.
Solid.
Yeah, you got to know what they're doing.
Okay. All right. So what if I ain't got none of that? W-2, none of that. I just got bread.
You just got bread. Then
I just got bread.
And in a situation like that, find someone who has that and partner with them, who don't have the money. All right, partner.
Gotcha.
Zero. What's better, 0% of nothing or 50% of something? Because there's situations like that. People DM me all the time, want to give me money. Hey, bro, I don't got.
Wow. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Sorry about that.
So I recommend partnering.
Okay. So sometimes you can get into a loan where you just got to put 20% down. What is that type of situation?
That's a conventional loan.
What do you need for that? Same stuff?
Yeah, same stuff. 20% down.
So you still need a W-2 joint, or I heard it's less strenuous or whatever.
It requires less. There's even some like low down payment conventional options like 3% or even 5%. Conventional option, and there's no PMI.
Gotcha.
Because there's the FHA and there's conventional, but
PMI.
Yeah.
PMI.
PMI is a principal mortgage insurance.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, shoot. I think it's home getting time. One, your story is just amazing.
Thank you,
It's
brother.
amazing, and I think less than just being a realtor and knowing that. Well, one of the things I took away is like definitely real estate is definitely a vehicle where you can make money and start to build wealth, right?
Build your wealth.
Anything you could teach on building one property at a time. What are some things I need to consider?
When you're building or when you're buying?
Yeah, because I mean, just building your portfolio.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, what I recommend is, because it's your asset, right? So like the first house that I bought, right, like I took care of it, right? And like once I started running it out, like when the tenants, wanted something fixed, I made sure like I got it fixed, right? Like if I need a brand new roof, I got a brand new roof, right? Yeah. So you got to really protect your asset. You got to make sure it's insured, make sure you check up on your property, pest control. You really want to upkeep your property and take care of it. Otherwise, you're going to have it go to the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
So you really want to take care of your property, and then your property's going to take care of you. Happy tenants, they pay the rent. And then, for me, what I did was like the cash flow that it made, I put that in a separate house account and just let it, build up. And if the house ever needed anything, I took it from the house account to pay for it.
Does each house have their own account?
I have, so the first two houses, they're in one kind of like separate account, and then the other one is in its own.
Gotcha.
So I'm actually figuring out what do I want to do. Do I want to have everything in one? Because I don't want to have like so many different bank accounts. So I'm thinking. So that's why I also slowed up. So I want to like get everything organized. So maybe having like one entity and with everything underneath it. Or I got to do the separate bank accounts.
Right.
So I'm still. You got to figure out what works best for you. There's people do it one way. Some people do it the other way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think we're all learning through the process.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like there's always more learning to do, right? So
it never stops learning.
Man, one, I want to say thank you because you flew down from New Jersey just for the podcast, right? That's pretty awesome. And I'm glad you came by, man. So I'm gonna do a quick commercial, but after that, I'm gonna have you close this out with some words of wisdom. That cool?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. All right, y'all. As always, this episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. It is the only community of entrepreneurs that gather every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go over a specific topic every single day. Now, for the month, we have themes like the month of November, we were doing content creation. The month of December, we were doing becoming financially lit. So we had tax preparers come on, we had accountants, people that are like discussing how to prepare yourself financially to invest, right? And then how do you invest? So it's the most amazing community in the world, actually. But go to themorningmeetup.com and I'm going to do something special for you. I'm going to let you try and just join our program for $1. Okay, you get 7 days, which is about 5 sessions for $1. Just try it out. We got over 300 people on the call. You will be in a Zoom room with over 300 people. Okay. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it could be 1,000. Who knows? But they're entrepreneurs from all across the country. We network. We get to know one another, and we inspire each other. Like you were saying, I think environment is everything. You get around a group of people, so as you're succeeding, I'm sure some of the friends that you're succeeding with are successful.
Yeah, your network equals your net worth.
100%. Give me an experience and help sell my point on network.
Like, once I started hanging around with people who made 6 figures, I finally made 6 figures. Like, the mortgage guy who was pushing me, he made 6 figures. The guy who I joined his team, he made 6 figures. I just started hanging around people who made 6 figures. And I would tell them, like, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 6 figures. Is it possible? But literally after I quit my job, within like 6-7 months, I made my first 6 figures. So really, you want to surround yourself with people, high net worth people who can add value to your life.
Absolutely. And the cheat code understanding that process is if you really want to get to 7 figures, what do you have to do?
Hang around people that make 6 figures.
Like this stuff ain't rocket science. So if you are not an entrepreneur and you want to be an entrepreneur, just get in the environment of entrepreneurship. If you feel like you need some motivation, inspiration, and here's what's crazy. We have a group, there are people in this group that aren't entrepreneurs and they're trying to figure it out. They just want some motivation and inspiration. We got some people who have a business and, they're trying to get to that next level. We have some people that are thriving in their business. We have some multimillionaires that are actually on the call that join the program because they like the community, they like the network, they like to teach or learn. It's crazy. One of my mentors is on the call, somebody I learned from, but he's sitting there every single morning with his notes. It's crazy. So make sure you join themorningmeetup.com and just try it out for $1, just $1, okay? It's $70 after that per month, but we get on every day. So it's like $2 a day. So, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me,
so much
brother.
for coming, man. Definitely, I want you to give out, how people can find you, how they can follow you, and then kind of just close us out with a word of wisdom.
All right. If you guys want to follow my Instagram, it's at Naeem Boucher, Naeem Boucher. I'm very active on Instagram, and the last thing I'm gonna say to whoever's watching, whatever it is that you want to do, in this world, anything's possible. Anything's possible. Like I literally remember, struggle, and now I'm not really struggling with anything besides growing my business.
And relationships.
In relationships. But you really have control over your life, and once you realize that, the sky is the limit. It doesn't matter where you are, where you're starting, whether you working at McDonald's, whether you're a janitor, it doesn't matter where you are. You start somewhere and then keep climbing. Like I'm proof. I'm sure that you're proof, and there's a bunch of other people that we're on this that are proof. When we're just regular people who just believed in ourselves and went out for it. So you guys just do the same and let's grow.
Let's get it, man. Thank you so much. We can't close it out no stronger than that. All right, man. Listen, go get you some social proof, okay? Go build something and then show somebody else how to build it, okay? You be that social proof, okay? Prove to yourself that you can be successful, all right? Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this channel. If you're watching it right now, just hit the little like button. Make sure you subscribe and share it with somebody. All right, we are out of here. Peace.